evening. Welcome to Successful Minds. I have my good Christian brother Ralph with me.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the opportunity, sir.
No problem. It's a pleasure to have you. I know that I should have had you here, so my deepest apologies.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
So,
everything.
You're right. Just so people know, oh my gosh, everybody has been asking, who does your videos? Who takes all your pictures? Well, guess what, you all? This episode, you finally get to meet the man behind the camera.
Appreciate it.
Let them know who you are a little bit.
Ralph Parrot. I'm with Sway Generis Photography. It's originally pronounced Sui Generis if you look it up in Latin, but it's pronounced Sway Generis in my house anyway.
And what does that stand for?
Well, it's originally defined in Latin to mean unique and one of a kind, and I do believe that I take unique and one of a kind photos. I have a unique and one of a kind business as far as the clientele that I service and the photos that I take. You won't find anything else like them in this market.
And I can vouch for that. He's helped me on numerous of occasions with a lot of different events, and it's always top of the line customer service. So, man, we have two nice cameras here. Now, don't get me wrong, it's like the new thing for people is, want to take pictures and stuff.
Right.
But you have like a lot of different,
genres or flavors that I take.
Yes,
yeah,
like
I'm everywhere.
It can be from prom pictures
right.
to Saturday Night Live to being, at the local Friday football game.
Now it's football season.
It is
football.
So I know you're definitely busy.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that's really good for you is that you have a wide variety of places and different areas that you take pictures at. Very versatile.
Well, for me, it's good to be diverse. I could just stay with shooting models and things like that, or I could just stay with shooting sports. But I've been really blessed to have a lot of people that hook me up with different opportunities, and at this point, I really want to broaden my horizon so that I can do more things. So one day I'll be shooting at a charity event, and I'll be with a photo booth, and then I'll take that photo booth home, and I'll be on the sidelines of a football game, shooting it. So like you said, I'm a little bit everywhere, but I really specialize in events. I do concerts, live performances, anything of that nature. I also do family photos, headshots, of course sports. I've done some bodybuilding contests. I've done some. I
saw those. Those are really good pictures. I was like, I need to get in the gym.
Right. The bodybuilders were extremely happy with them, because the camera is really high resolution, so it takes really good defined pictures.
Now, is it about the camera or the lens?
Well, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
It's a little bit of both. The lenses, definitely, you can't just take a, off the shelf, camera out of the box and just, decide or expect to take really good photos.
Right.
You have to have some training behind it. Lighting conditions change, which is really the big thing. It's all about lighting. It's about shutter speed. If something's moving versus not moving, that's really huge as well. So, this camera is probably like, it's a really high-end camera. It's got 42 megapixels, which is a really sensitive sensor in it. This one's not as sensitive. It's still got 24 megapixels, which is, it's a good camera, but it's not as good as, this is my axe. I mean, I've got this baby in my hand. I know everything's going to be all right.
This is the Corvette. This is the Mercedes.
Right. It does a little something, but, this is my thing right there.
Yes. So I see that you have the Nikon.
Right.
So what is your comparison between Nikon and Canon? Because I'm actually kind of a Canon guy.
Canon guy. To each his own, right? There's Nikons, there's Canon, there's Sonys. There's a lot of different models that are out there, and cameras take pictures. They're designed to take pictures. Some are take. I just like Nikon's format. I like some of the lenses that were available when I was choosing the lenses that I wanted to put with it. I shoot Camera lenses only, so I had a really big arsenal or big market to choose from as far as Tamron is concerned. I shoot Nikon cameras, but I put a Tamron lens on there just because the Nikon lenses I felt were just really outside of my price range. It just didn't make sense. These are, some of these lenses are rated just as good, if not better, than the ones that Nikon makes.
So they're more cost efficient.
Cost effective. The quality, you do not sacrifice quality. And when I'm taking sports, I really want to work about shutter speed and focus accuracy and focus speed. And the Tamron lenses do the same thing. And so that's why I stick with the Tamron lenses.
Nice. So something good that you said is talk about lighting. A lot of people don't realize that, man, you have to have the perfect lighting or it can really mess up the whole picture. So how do you go about beating that?
Right. So you have to have good lighting, and then so if you don't have good lighting, you induce flash to help you boost the lighting. sensitivity.
Okay.
And if you don't have flash, then you increase the sensitivity on the sensor inside of the camera. So that's what we call ISO.
Okay.
And so I can boost the sensitivity so I can be in a dark place
and lighten it up.
And the sensor on is more sensitive, so it brightens up that picture. Or I can take a picture and it look totally black on the screen, and then when I take it into what I call post-processing, then I can, it almost turns a black picture into totally, all of a sudden you see the lights come up. It's like the lights are on.
It's amazing what those cameras could do.
It is amazing.
So let people know how they can find you if someone wants to book your service, if they have an event, need some headshots, or want you to come out and take photos after their kids' soccer or baseball game.
Right. So my website is www.suigeneris.photos.com. That's SUIGENERIS photos.com. I do have Instagram and Facebook. My number is 281-455-9083.
Again, everyone, because everyone's been asking, this is my camera guy.
I'll take the camera in the gym when I'm shooting you, doing the pull-ups and everything. I just want to let you know that.
But this is the guy though who's behind the scenes that makes me look good. So definitely reach out to him, book him, and he'll bring even more excitement and expertise to your event. Ralph, so really quick, let us know how challenging it was to, come from an oil and gas background and go out and pursue your dream and learn a whole new craft. But I know you had times where, you didn't want to keep going. And I know you had times where you invest a lot of money, into it. So talk a little bit about how that transformation was.
Well, I got interested in photography. I got a camera as a gift. Went out in the front yard and immediately took a picture of a flower at night on the ground. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting, and put the camera down. This was many years ago, and life changes, and all of a sudden I decided I wanted to, get back into photography. I needed a little habit, something to do.
Yeah.
And so I went out and bought a camera, and I took horrible pictures. They were horrendous. I went to a flower garden and thought I was doing something really good.
Right.
Put the camera in what we call auto mode.
Yeah.
And let the camera do all the work, and the camera it let me down. The camera let me down.
So you got to shoot raw, manual, right?
Well, yeah, you can shoot most people when they take pictures, they shoot in JPG, right? But I shoot in RAW. And so the difference is a JPEG file will come out maybe 4 or 5 megabytes. A RAW photo will come out 60 to 70, sometimes even 100 megabytes per picture. And what that allows me to do is when I take it into post-processing, I have a special program called Lightroom. Some people use Photoshop. But when I take it into Lightroom, I can really manipulate those colors backwards and forwards to get you the best quality photo. I can do what we call presets on top of it and give all kinds of shadows. I mean, there's really a lot of stuff that I can do to a photograph. Some of them that may originally be horrible, I can take them to be the most beautiful photograph you've ever seen. So,
or some of them that may be larger, you can slim them up too, right?
Yes, I can do that. Yeah. Everybody's like, where's the slimming camera?
You can't look.
It's the slimming process.
It's a slimming process.
Not the slimming camera, right?
Like some people want you to do the stars and moon in the world for them. It's like, look.
A picture's a picture, but I can make it look cute. Make it look cute.
That's amazing, man. So you talked about Lightroom and Photoshop. Now, why would you recommend Lightroom over Photoshop?
For me, when I do a lot of events and I'm taking photos, maybe do a bodybuilding contest, I'll leave a shoot with 1,000 photos, maybe 700, 800 photos. So I have to be able to change the settings on a bunch of photos, a group of photos, all at one time as quickly as possible, and ferret through which ones are going to be the good ones and which ones are going to be trash, right? And so Lightroom allows me to put that whole strip in there, and I can change the settings on all of the photos at one time, or I can change them on just batches. If I go to one room to another room and the lighting conditions change, or if I'm doing 5 or 6 people and then I want to do 2 people, I can change those conditions. Let's put football games as it gets darker and darker and darker. The lighting conditions change, so I have to adjust all those things in post process. Lightroom is just a lot faster. Photoshop, you have to go one photo at a time. So if you're doing 5 or 6 or 7 photos, it's fine. Take a Photoshop. If you're doing some really tricky stuff, you're hanging the moon out, you're slimming people or making, whatever. Photoshop is the program you use for that. So
so Lightroom is, it makes you be able to be more effective and efficient with your time, and you can knock out multiple things at once. I'm all about multitasking. That's what the world is about. about.
Right.
So look, Ralph, man, it's been such a pleasure, amazing
Appreciate it,
time.
man. Appreciate
You know, just one quick thing before people leave. What's a jewel that you can drop to an aspiring person who wants to do photography?
Get lessons. Get lessons. The one thing that really elevated my skills, I went to the Houston Center for Photography, enrolled in some classes. That was an investment in itself. I mean, you're not gonna, you can go online and learn some things through YouTube. I'm still learning things through YouTube, and I still will be as long as I'm in this business.
Right.
But sitting in a classroom with people, with an instructor, getting the lessons, and really figuring out how to manipulate the camera. You want to get it out of auto as quick as possible. If you're really going to do photography, you want to take the photo out of auto and put it on manual, and there's some other things that you can do to it. Learn how to set the camera up, and really, give it the best opportunity to make a good photo. So
good.
And lessons.
One thing you need to know is if you're pursuing your dream or passion, you got to at least invest in yourself.
Right.
So, and getting, take lessons, invest in yourself.
Right.
If you can invest in yourself, how do you expect someone else to invest in you?
Exactly.
Well, hey, we'll have the Whiskey and Wine Festival September 28th. Make sure you come out. Tickets are almost sold out. And we'll see you the same time, same place next week.